Hey guys, Sri Lanka Sammi, part 3. Is it part 3? Yeah, part 3 of crazy love story. Wow. The comments. Are you reading the comments on part 2 and part 1? Wow. So this series is going on for 5 parts, and we'll finish in 2 more weeks. On Saturdays, I'm going to post this every Saturday. So please follow, like, subscribe, and enjoy. All right, so part 3. Hope you guys really like this story. Please comment, let me know what you think is going to happen at the end of this video. So far, Mr. K and Miss J are now married. They're living in Alaska. She has been there now for 2 months. The plan is 2 months before they have to go to Florida. Now, she cannot leave the United States territory because of her visa. She has to remain so that she can get naturalization, which is the goal, which is the plan. So they don't come back to Korea, or the plan is not to come back to Korea. The plan is to stay there until, you know, they get the naturalization or citizenship. So 2 months, what to do? Now, as I said before, one of his friends, in part 1 I told you about his friend who was married to a Korean. So he introduces that person, that Korean, to Miss J. And of course they make friends, and they're, you know, doing their little talking in Korean, and she's feeling much more comfortable. And this woman has a little restaurant. Now, like those of you who know Korea, those of you who know foreign countries, anywhere there's a US installation, bars and restaurants and what have you pop up nearby. So this mining town, okay, is basically, you know, just trailers or double wide trailers, or, you know, like dormitories and stuff like that. And popping up around these are bars, restaurants, what have you, to capitalize on the men working in the mine. So this woman had a American barbecue restaurant, also specializing in Korean barbecue, near the mine. So Miss J would hang out with her after Mr. K left for work. So he would leave for work at 6. She would, you know, make him dinner, kiss him goodbye, and then she would go over to the restaurant to hang out. Now she's hanging out at the restaurant with this other Korean, and the restaurant closes, you know, 10 or 11, and then afterwards she has nothing to do. Where do you think she went? What do you think she did? Well, just like in most other places, okay, where there are lots of military or American installations, there are also places that cater to the other side of the business, cater to the other things that men want. Again, because of YouTube rules, I'm not going to get into the details of what it is. Let's just call it aerobics. So that is what was around at that time, around 10 p.m. Hello? Around 10 p.m. at night, that's what opens up in this area, right? So what happened? Is that a cat or a monkey? That's a cat. I haven't seen a monkey yet. I want to see a monkey, and they're dangerous. Stay away from monkeys. Stay away from monkeys. So Miss J finds these boys are playing cricket. Sunday afternoon playing cricket. So Miss J meets these, I'm assuming, this is what I've heard. Miss J meets these people, these ladies, and of course we all know that this is what she used to do back in Korea. So 2 + 2 doesn't take a lot to figure out what happens next, is that she ends up either being convinced or jumps right in and starts to do aerobics. Now, from what I found out from Mr. K, is that she had hooked up with this American girl of Filipino descent, an American citizen, and they had she had convinced her to get an apartment, an upstairs over a store or a restaurant or something like that, in town, under her name, and that's where they would partake of these aerobics. Now, I think this started after the trip to Florida, when they had returned back from Florida. So it was the spring of the following year. So let's say January, February, this had started. So 6 nights of the week, 5 nights a week, she would partake of these aerobics. You figure out how much money she was taking home in cash, in small bills. You know, even 15 years ago, let's just say $100 a night, or, you know, $100 per action, you know, 5-6 nights a week, $1,000 a week. You figure out after 6 months, 8 months, how much money she had, how much cash. Where's she putting it all? She can't put it in the bank. She can't give it to Mr. K. She is putting a few bucks on the table because, you know, she says she's working at the restaurant or whatever. You know, he's happy that she's busy. She's doing something. So he finishes his 8 months. She finishes her 8 months, and they fly to Florida. Now, remember what I told you? Where's the money? Where's she putting all this cash? Remember the Florida house. So they flew domestic, and in America, domestic flights, you can carry whatever you want. There's no requirement like international flights, where you need to claim over $10,000 if you're carrying over $10,000 in cash. And on a domestic flight, they don't check. So, well, at that time they didn't. I'm not sure about today. So, they go down to Florida, they come back, and she goes right back to work. From what, now, they have been married at this point, I'm going to say 8 to 10 months. It's now the next year. They stayed in Florida for the summer because, again, she could not leave the United States, so they couldn't go back to Korea. So what they did is they flew from Florida to, or maybe, no, wait a minute. No, wait. I'm mistaken. They get a special dispensation to drive from Florida to the continental United States. I think the U.S. immigration allows that because you're driving from the U.S. to the U.S. From Alaska. Because Alaska is not connected, they allow that because some people can't afford to fly. So what they do is they allow that. So they drove. This is the time they drove. So they drove for a month in an RV from Alaska to Florida, and they spent the 4 months in Florida. That's important to know, because they basically packed up 90% of the things to take with them to Florida. So that's important to remember. Because again, I'm going to ask you, there's a test at the end, where is all the money? So they come back after the Florida, after the summer, and she goes right back to work and enjoying. Hello. Hello, baby. Hello. So cute. So beautiful. What's her name? Nombre? Imasha? Imasha. Nice. So beautiful. Congratulations. Bye-bye. So cute. So, they come back from Florida, and now it's fall. He's back to work. And now she's been doing this, I'm probably going to say 6 to 8 months. And no, I can't remember. The timeline, because I haven't written it down, the timeline, because I'm foggy on the timeline, I'm sorry. Let's just say it's at least a year or more. So because I remember it was the fall. I remember it was the fall when this happened. And try to guess what happened. Comment down below what you think happened, what you think is up next. Sri Lanka Sammy saying like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm out.